Welcome, bienvenido, grand rising, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. It is time for healing. Hallelujah. I'm Viata, your host for Health and Well-Being with Viata. It is just such a beautiful day because the sky is blue. There's no lines in the sky. The sun is shining. And here in Florida, we're getting a lot of rain lately, which is really needed. I planted some flowers and I'm planting a garden. I'm nurturing a garden, which isn't doing too well right now. And I'm feeding the squirrels. That's something new for me. I decided these squirrels keep hanging around, and I have a bird feeder. The top is for the birds, the bottom's for the squirrels. So I'm throwing almonds in there and sunflower seeds for the squirrels, and they're eating it up. So I'm enjoying this amazing time in my life to share, to grow, and to learn. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And this is Men's Health Month. What does that mean even? I don't know. We're going to find out in the next hour what that really, really means for the majority of people on the planet. And the idea came to me that I didn't even put it, but the idea came to me that Men's Health Month is about the kidneys and the liver. Now, why did that come to me? Well, I asked one person, one male person, an elderly person, what they thought were the most important organs in the body that men should be concerned about or focus on. And that was his answer: kidneys and liver. So I did a little research, did a little meditation, and we're going to talk about why the kidneys and the liver might be the two most important organs for men to focus on, especially this month when all the energy is about men's health, men's health. But first, let me welcome all of you to my tiny house village. And my tiny house village is about downsizing. There are people all over this world living in their cars, storage units, and even tents, and then living on the grass. So if you're paying attention, housing is not a given these days. The big house, the 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage, the American dream is kind of become a nightmare for many people. And many of our citizens just find themselves without a roof over their head for various reasons. So, tiny house, I want everyone who tunes in to just think minimalist, minimalist downside. So, here's just a visual of what I have journeyed through to bring me to my small house that brings me so much joy. So that is just a small example of my journey to remind me that I could live in a smaller space. I was married for those of you who don't know me, a little history. I was married for almost 40 years. At least I was living with this man for almost 40 years. Marriage was about 38 of those years. And I had the big house. We had a townhouse. We moved into a bigger house when my children we started to have 2 children. And then the last house we moved in before our divorce was a 4 bedroom, 3 bath house with a 2-car garage and a swimming pool, and we had at least a 1/4 acre of land. One of the things I took away from all those blessings is that it requires time and money to maintain all that. Time and money. So if you're a millionaire and money's just flowing in, you don't have a problem or a challenge. You don't have a challenge maintaining a big house with a yard with grass and cars and children and all the things that go along with a big house. The American dream, the swimming pool. I had all that for almost 20 years. And now I realize in that journey how precious time is with my family, and that as I'm getting older and they're getting old, my grandchildren will be 9 and 11 this month. And it's like I was looking at pictures of their mother when she was pregnant, and then when they were toddlers, and then now it's like they're almost preteens. So the time that I used to spend cleaning house, maintaining car. I don't even have a car anymore. Thank goodness. I don't think I'll ever want another car. That's the worst investment, but you got to get around. So I'm finding new ways to get around, car sharing. But the most valuable part of my life now is my relationships with other people, and learning how to respond and not react to the behavior of other people, and just really with my grandchildren listening to them, because when they're in a divorce situation, the stress is there for these young people. And as a grandmother, my ears are more open to how was mom's house today, or how was your day at school, or whatever. Now it's summer vacation, so it's time to get out to the beach and go swimming and all those good things. So we're here today on June 6th. Let's see, June 6th, that's 6 and 6 is 3. So 9 and 3. So we're on a 3 number, a 3 energy today with June 6, 2025. And 3 to me always represents triangle and the combination of spirit and flesh and all that coming together in a shape that says 3 in 1. 3 in 1. And it's a spiritual number for me, of course, for various reasons. But we are here to roll some joints, because health and well-being is all about taking care of this flesh. But we're going to talk about the men today more than usual, because it's Men's Health Month, and anytime they designate a month of the year for something, we want to give it some energy just to lift up the principles and the truth of it. And we got a comment from our listener already, or viewer already. Let me see. That's Higher Learning. My sister Zelda is here. Thank you, Zelda, for joining me. She says, Grand Rising, getting men to go to Western practitioners for help takes strategy, like listening to the show. I got a great video for you today, Zelda, on that. I thought about this. I'm always looking for YouTube videos to help us learn. It's all about learning, especially at my age. When we increase our knowledge in our senior years, the Alzheimer's will not show up. But if we sit around being entertained, we're going to have Alzheimer's and brain disease. So I found this great video from the traditional medical system about men's health. And of course, what they usually say is we got to get these men to the doctors. Well, we might rethink that after this show. Thank you, Zelda, for your comment, because this show is all about us, united spirit. We always say thank us, united spirits, united souls coming together to discuss and to uplift truth, love, and wisdom. That's what this show is about: truth, love, and wisdom, uplifting. I had a great conversation with a senior man yesterday, and that's why we came up with the liver and the kidney, and I'll explain to you why he thinks those are the two most important organs to focus on, at least for this month and for your lifetime, really. But let's do some joint rolling. Why should we roll joints? To get high, to get high, to get high. We want to get high on life, because that's what this is all about. When I look at the Diddy drama that's going on, we got a lot of shows going on in the planet, the political shows, the Hollywood shows. Diddy show is one of the popular ones, at least for the last month. And all I could think about after watching several or listening to what was going on with the Diddy was the drugs that influence this behavior that is now on full display, at least hearing and about the display of insane behavior because of the alcohol and all the pills and drugs that these people were taking and engaging in this type of debauchery behavior, what I would say, sexual behavior, whatever, is the drugs. So the mind of conscious people like ourselves, us coming together, is that we don't need the drugs. I don't care. For me, I don't take any pharmaceutical whatsoever. I left those go about 20 years ago because they weren't helping me. And I started meditating and doing yoga that is helping me. So that's why we promote a joint rolling, so that you get high, not on the drugs and do foolish things that could end you up in jail or fighting, but that your circulation will improve in this sacred vessel, that your immune system will improve to help you fight the bird flus and the other scary fear-mongering things, and to improve your lymphatic system, which is a system that helps your whole body function better. And then, of course, when we roll these joints, there are muscles around each joint. And if you're not doing any joint rolling, even moving your head around, your muscles are going to get lazy and weak. So all of you joining me this morning and later, and when you watch this, thank you for being conscious and loving yourself. We call it fly moment. This is the fly moment. First, love yourself. And that's the message I gave recently to a woman. That's the message I gave to a woman recently who called me for some consultation, who's having menopause problems. And being married to a man for 26 years, and she's trying to, the kids are out of the house, and he's still wanting her to fix him meals every day. She's trying to go back to school. She's trying to do all these other things, but this man in her life, this husband, wants her a meal from her every day. And she's like, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm like, fly, honey, first love yourself. At some point, human beings have to set boundaries and be totally honest and have integrity and be yourself and say, I can't do that anymore. No, the word no has to be part of your vocabulary more frequently when you get older, because we were all yes, yes, yes. Oh, I can do it. Yes, yes, yes. And then it comes to a point, as like this morning, I was watching the Female Solution. I love to tune in to Sanibel's show on Friday, who replaced me, and I used to do on Friday. But she had a woman on there talking about fibromyalgia. I was starting to feel pain in my body just listening to her description of what she's been going through. So I'm just in gratitude. After listening to a show like that, I get into gratitude. Woo, thank you. That period, I never went through fibromyalgia, but anybody who has had pain and who's going through pain knows what that journey can be like. But listening to this woman and how she overcame it, it gives all of us hope to know that we can overcome the worst. I mean, the type of pain she was describing was like a 12 out of 1 to 10. She was over the 10. She was a 12. So I want to thank everybody here for we got another comment here. Before we get into joint rolling, I really do want to acknowledge the comments, because Blog Talk Radio is still in my mind. We used to have people calling in, and you could hear their voice when I opened their mic and such, but it just, now we have chats and YouTube, which is cool. You can call in if you want. If you want to call in, just put that in the chat and I'll give you the phone number. But Kwame says, Diddy imitation of a white man. Okay, well, there's a lot of truth in that statement, but I would say Diddy went into the spirit of drugs, and he was influenced by the system, the evil system of the enemy, the adversary, and the entities. You know, I saw Mission Impossible with a friend recently, and throughout the movie they were talking about entities, and my friend and I were, what are they talking about, entity? And we finally said, okay, that's AI. We concluded, okay, it must be, because the whole movie is like off the chain with adventure and excitement. And the AI, the whole idea of Mission Impossible was get control of the entities. And the entities in our society today are everywhere. If you turn on any entertainment, you're going to see entities. It's like what people would say, the devil, blaming the devil for everything. Well, the Diddy crowd, the Hollywood crowd, they left their culture. Anybody who got involved with Diddy left the culture, the healthy culture of family and farming and land ownership. They left that culture, went to the urban areas, and got caught up in the drug scene, the Hollywood scene, and all that. So I would just say the Diddy drama show we're watching is all about getting involved with entities and artificial relationships. Because how can you have a healthy relationship with people when they're all on drugs? You're not even in your right mind. So that's why, again, we're here. And then one more comment here, because Kwame's in the house, my brother. No means it's on you if you do. No, that's right. You say, no, it's all on me. I'm taking accountability, responsibility for me and my health, because today is all about listening to the body, especially that male energy that is so unique and special. And we want to dive into the kidneys and liver, why this one person is focusing on kidney and liver for his health. We're going to talk about why that is after we roll these joints, because I need to roll my joints this morning. I'm feeling a little stiff in some areas, so I want to put on my favorite music, Time for Healing by The Sounds of Blackness. Time for Healing, The Sounds of Blackness, gets us motivated, and the words are so right. Love is the cure, love is the cure. So we start out, again, improving our circulation, building up our immune system, draining our lymphatic system, and strengthening the muscles. So let's start with a deep breath. Through the nose. Let's do it together. In the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Let it out through the nose this time. And see what that feels like. Because your body is so unique that exhaling through the mouth or nose is very individual, I find. After all these years of yoga classes, I've seen mostly nose breathing, but sometimes just sighing out that toxic air, that toxic energy is better through the mouth. So one more deep inhale, and let it go. So let's do some neck rolling, because these muscles are holding up this giant ball of brains and head, and we want to strengthen. Ooh-wee. Feels so good. And even my upper back is getting a relief. Open up your heart. Let the healing flow. Got to have healing. Rolling, rolling, rolling. And take your time, take your time, take your time. We're doing this together. And then reverse, reverse. And breathing in as we go, breathing in as we go, breathing in as we go. Woo. And let's just turn our head to one side as far as you can go. Turn to the other side as far as you can go. Those are different muscles when you're doing that. And then let's just go down to the chest and back. Oh, I'm already feeling relief in my shoulders. And let's just roll those shoulders back. Woo-wee. This is such a therapeutic move because your back muscles are getting some exercise and release of tension. I know we sometimes have our shoulders up here and we don't even realize it. But that's why doing this and releasing that tension and go forward and back, release the tension. Human family needs healing like big time, big time. Africa is really in the news. I'm so excited about Africa. Ibrahim Traore is like standing tall and telling the colonializers, get lost. Loving it, loving it, loving the Africa news because colonialism is everywhere. You know, even in your house, you got some colonial activity going on. Time to let it go. Ibrahim Traore and Burkina Faso are leading the way to free us all from colonialism. So let's just do a little swimming in the sea of energy and let go of some more. Okay, make sure this is going to repeat. Okay, so my music will repeat. So swimming in the sea of energy, backstroke. I was doing day before yesterday, I got to swim in my favorite pool. Zelda visited the ashram where I used to live. I got to go back there and I did 19 laps. So when I do this stroke in the water, with the sun on my face, I could just do this forever. But then I like to do the frog strokes as well. So anyway, I had a great time in the pool. I got to really build up some muscles I need to build up. All right, let's get on our backs if you can. Let's see. And kick up those legs. And let's see. Kick up the legs and roll the ankles. These are your resonant tones, and we're activating portals. These are your activation portals. These are your ankles are magnetic and cosmic, and your wrists are self-existing planetary tones. Now you're like, what does that mean? What it means is we're connected to the cosmos. And all of this rolling is actually stimulating our antennas to the cosmic energy that's flowing right into your body. Yes. So we are just activating our soul self. Because we're like solar panels, you know. So let's just roll the lower legs around. And the knees are actually crystal and lunar tones. Crystal lunar tones that are resonating with actually a particular area in the cosmos, because remember, we are microcosms of the big macrocosmic universe. So all we're doing is harmonizing and connecting to a higher energy, you know. Now again, if you have trouble rolling, just point and flex, bend the knees and straighten. First thing in the morning, kick those covers off, point and flex. If you can't roll, this is how you improve your circulation, is moving your feet, flexing your feet back and forth and bending the knees. This is going to strengthen those muscles in the knees so you have fewer knee problems as you get older. If you don't move it, you lose it. Remember that saying? Okay, so let's get on our side and roll these legs around to get the hip. Let's just, if you're in this position, just tap on this. If you have any pain in this area, this is how you manage your pain. Move the energy. If you have pain here, for instance, that means there's a blockage in there. Blood's not flowing. The river's not flowing. So what do? You start slapping it. And even if it hurts a little, just lighten it up. But then you want to keep tapping, slapping until the pain is relieved. Now, if you do have pain and it does, just stop and breathe. Stop and breathe. Ooh, this feels so good. Now, this is also helping your colon area, your reproductive area, to get blood flowing in that area, so it's not some stagnant swamp in there. Let's reverse that. You're opening up the channels of spectral and electric. Imagine that your hips are electric portals. Why would that be? Well, when you think about, let's flip over to the other side. Why would the hips area be electric? Well, I tell you one thing, in this first chakra area, second chakra area, there is a lot of electricity in there. Energy that produces babies, that sexual energy, that's electric. Have you ever thought about how electric this portal is in here? It's electric and spectral. Wow. So that when we're rolling, we're activating the electricity. That's what we're doing here. This is bringing life to that area. Now, you can do this, but you can also do things like self-pleasure. You know what I mean? It's a master or something, Some of us, as we get older, we think we don't need self-pleasure, but we do. Because, again, this is electricity going here. And sometimes self-pleasure, you know what I mean? When you don't have a partner anymore, you have to do self-pleasure, right? And that is what activates the electricity in there, which is hormones moving and growing and doing all kinds. So let's get on our back and hug these knees. Take a deep breath, rock side to side. Deep breath in, and let's just rub the bottom of the feet together. Rub the bottom of the feet together. And hug the knees again. Now let's try and roll over to one side and push up and come to a sitting position. And let's get the vagus nerve activated. This is a key area for the whole system to wake up. Squeeze that neck area. You should feel that. I feel that all the way down to my toes when I do that. Squeeze and release. Smile. Keep smiling. Don't frown. Smile. Breathe in. Activate the vagus energy that's running like a tree with branches in this vessel. Woo! Shake it off. Let's give your arms a good tap. This inner part of your elbow is another area to slap on when you have pain in your body. Just slap on it for a while and release the blockages. Tapping. Woo, breathe in. Tap all the way around. And of course, because we're talking about the kidneys and the liver today, we want to make sure you know where they are. Back here, kidneys, liver over here, and the kidney and adrenal glands. Let's give them a love tap, yay! And say thank you. Thank you, kidneys and liver, for all the work that you do to keep this body going. So, how are you feeling? take inventory of how you feel after you do your joint rolling. Because if there's any pain in anywhere, that's where you want to start. Give it a little tap and breathe into that pain. Let it go. Breathe in, let it go. Breathe in, let it go. Wherever it is, let it go, let it go. So I hope that's been invigorating and healing for you. And let's take a little meditation break while I go to my studio. I'm going to put on a beautiful visual so that you can take just a minute to breathe and appreciate the energy of, especially of Africa right now. We are, woo, Africa is speaking to us. I'm in my studio with my dad, who is the most influential man in my life, was this man right here, Sherman J. Howard. Let me take a sip. And so everything I do now at this point going forward has been influenced by my dad, who is a professional athlete, a football coach, a high school physical education instructor. And I got to write his book with him before he left at 95 years. So always grateful. And my dad is with me all the time. This is just a symbol of number 7, 527, always with me, guiding me and helping me meet challenges and remembering his voice in my life. So this is the man in my life. So today, though, we want to honor the men and the males in our life. The men, it's all about men's health, focusing on the kidneys and liver. Why the kidneys and liver? I'm going to tell you why. Because one man's journey that I spoke to when I asked that question, what do you think about Men's Health Month? What should be the focus for my show? I was asking him, and what is your journey about? He said, well, it's got to be the kidneys and liver. I'm like, kidneys and liver? Really? Out of all the things that a man could be talking about, kidneys and liver? Well, if you've ever heard the saying, you might have a million problems in your life, but when your health is not good, when you're sick, when you're weak, and you're suffering, guess what your only problem is? Is your health, your kidneys and liver. In this case, this person is really suffering with kidney and liver problems. So that, and why kidneys and liver? Well, his logic is these are your main filters in your body. Those kidney, if you don't take good care of your kidneys and your liver, he's feeling it right now, suffering in his body, and his kidneys and liver are in bad shape. We can learn a lot from someone who says you better focus on the kidneys and liver, because what they're learning in their state of suffering and pain and challenge is that those two organs are the most important. But let's just take a look at, I wanted to take a look at what the medical system, because if you have insurance, you're going to a doctor, and like Zelda said earlier, she said it's hard to get men to go to a doctor. I think let me show her a comment again. Getting men to go to Western practitioners for help takes strategy. Excellent. Truth. Very true. But let's look at what Western medicine has to offer. Uh, I think that's one of the most important. Men's health. Where should we start is the name of this video that I found. And this is a Western medicine point of view. And it's only a couple of minutes, but what do you think when Western medicine advises you like this? Men's health, where should we start? Should we listen to these guys when it says where should you start, or should you listen to someone who's suffering and with pain and they want to help you understand your kidneys and your liver? So let's take a listen to this short advice from the medical system, the Western medical system.
Talk about men's health. Research shows that roughly 60% of men do not visit their doctor routinely, making men more likely to delay addressing medical symptoms or to ignore them altogether. This can lead to an increased risk of serious health complications, such as heart disease, cancer, depression, anxiety, diabetes, and more. Even if you're feeling healthy, it's important to be proactive by scheduling regular health checkups with your doctor. So where should you start? Let's break it down. For ages 20 to 40, see your primary care physician for a checkup once a year, even if you're feeling healthy. Get routine tests such as blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and immunization updates. If recommended by your physician, visit a urologist to check on your reproductive system and prostate health. For ages 40 to 60, continue to get regular checkups from your primary care physician and urologist. Schedule a colonoscopy to check for hidden issues, such as colon cancer. If you have high blood pressure or a family history of heart disease, check in with a cardiologist. For ages 60 and up, continue with routine physicals and screenings recommended by your physician. Consider seeing an orthopedist to address any musculoskeletal issues. Talk to your physician about ways to stay physically active and healthy.
Okay, that's enough of that. Oh my goodness. Here at Viada's tiny house, and here in the health and well-being energy of Viada, 70 years, no medications, active, sleeping really well every night. That is like the worst advice in my opinion. Because what does that say to you? You are not connected to your body when you have to go and follow the medical system's advice that is advising you to get your immunizations, to see your urologist and get somebody to stick their finger up your butt and do all the things that Western sick care system advises you to do to stay healthy. Now, the problem with all of that, in my opinion, is that you're not taking account of your physical, spiritual, your spiritual soul journey. And you're not taking account of your emotions, energy, emotions, and your relationships. For me, this is the most important aspect of having health. Men, pay attention. Now, you know, my former husband and I had to part ways because he was married to his doctor and I was not. And I was divorcing the doctor. I didn't have a doctor at some point because they weren't helping me. They just weren't helping me. And even when I couldn't sleep while I was married, all they wanted to do was give me a pill. Nobody wanted to listen to me and help and help me express my frustrations and all the things that was going on in my life. No, it was come in. What's going on? I can't sleep. Oh, here, we got a pill for you. Take the pill, come back in 3 months and see me or whatever. So the sick care system, as they just described, they have a program for you at every age level But that's changing, seriously changing, because too many people are waking up. Number one, COVID was a huge wake-up call, huge wake-up call. Many people who had diabetes and high blood pressure and cancer, which they call comorbidities. I learned a new word during COVID, comorbidities. What the hell is that? Those are the people who were being put in the grave during COVID because their bodies couldn't handle the stress of the fear of a virus coming to kill you. So that lesson, COVID was a huge, huge lesson for everybody. But now in 2025, whole nother story, AI is taking over. And so we want to introduce you to Dr. Sunil Dahan's conference or meeting he just had with some professionals about the reality of the coming medical system. So men, especially men, because it's your month, pay attention. And the kidneys and liver are still on the table. But I want you to hear what Dr. Sunil and these men are talking about in this new healthcare system that is where pretty much AI, and he calls it the coming medical meltdown. So if you're thinking your way to health, the pathway to health is to see your doctor, get your prostate exam, get this exam, blah, 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 blah. All that's going to change because AI, number one, is taking over. And then just listen to what Dr. Sunil Dahan, and this is only 2 days old too, so it's fairly recent. But just listen to what this doctor and his panelists have to say about the coming medical meltdown. Are you prepared?
Through years of education and training, and it's not quite what we imagined at the front lines. And we all started off very...
Let's go back. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special show here. I am joined by two distinguished doctors by my side, and we really want to have an open and honest discussion. We know that there are millions of people out there who feel quite failed and let down by the healthcare system, and we're going to really talk openly as doctors who really feel everybody's pain out there. We know that so many doctors realize that they come through years of education and training, and it's not quite what we imagined at the front lines. And we all started off very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and we're working in a suboptimal system. So the question is, how can we deliver good care to the people that matter, which is you? And also, how can you go about navigating the system and hopefully finding good doctors in your area to take care of you?
I agree, Steve. I mean, I think, the point of this podcast is really to deliver like real information to patients. And really, there's been a tremendous breakdown in healthcare. And it's really hard to pinpoint the exact cause. Really just pre and post pandemic is probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, where did it go wrong? I think, to me, it's not the biggest mystery in the world. I mean, it's all special interests, I think. And these big special interests that were making money from healthcare that were kind of hidden from us in a big way. They weren't front and center, but I think COVID exposed it. I mean, I think we can very much see the pharmaceutical industry has taken a horrible turn. Now, that's not to say that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't produce great medications and drugs that we use all the time, but what's happened recently, what shifted, is the power and control that this industry has over all of us is completely outsized. I mean, my job as a physician is not just to find the drug to put you on, it's to figure out what's wrong with you and to figure out the best approach together, like how to fix this. And that's changed. I mean, the guidelines are all about, hey, how do you shove this medication down someone's throat?
It's a very, very sad situation.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Ben. I mean, what I went to medical school and what I'm doing now is completely different. We are totally locked by electronic health records, software, administrators, and big pharma and insurance companies. I think it's probably been highlighted even more recently about like the power they have on doctors. We can only do so much as physicians, but yet we're expected to see patients in a certain amount of time, and everyone's different. And I think patients, it's difficult for them, and it's really the communication breakdown and trying to get information and getting the misinformation away from patients.
Very true, and it's so interesting because obviously I come with the perspective of someone who went to medical school in a country and worked over there for a bit and then came to the US. I mean, in the UK, it's the government controlling things. In the US, it's insurance, big business. And sadly, for doctors who work within the system, which, let's be quite frank, is the majority of doctors, they find themselves stuck in the system. And my own experience of this was I started to suspect that things were wrong well before the pandemic. And you gentlemen know this as well. I was writing about things, blogging about the system. But boy, the pandemic really opened up my eyes, and I know the eyes of certain other good doctors as well, to just the systematic failures within our system and how we aren't staying true to our ideals, which should be to deliver the best possible care to as many people as possible. And these third parties have just completely run riot. Big business, big pharma, big insurance, and in the end, who suffers?
Yeah.
You, everybody watching, suffer.
And you can't get a hold of your primary care. You can't get a hold of your specialist. I think every patient can probably, feel the pain of trying to get a hold of their doctor, whatever specialty is, and not getting called back. And they're expected just to accept it. And I've noticed even post-pandemic, now people are just expecting that's a norm in healthcare, which is crazy if you think about it, right? I mean, there's really no other industry that has like worse communication in healthcare.
So that's just a sample of a 20-minute video that I wanted you to hear about conscious doctors. I look at Sunil Dahan as a more conscious doctor that are telling you how bad things are in that system. These are 3 medically trained doctors. And I put in the chat the name of that YouTube if you want to look at the whole video to find out all the other horrors that are going on in that system. So what is the solution then? As children, my childhood was experience with doctors was the doctor came to our apartment with a bag anytime we were sick. My dad, this man right here, had such a good relationship with people in his life. He had medical doctors as friends because he had played pro football. So he was well known in Chicago. And he had a friend who was a doctor. When we got sick, he came to our apartment with his little bag, the thermometer in the mouth. Okay, you have a fever, blah, blah, blah. Here, do this, do that, gone. We didn't go to their office when I was a child. I don't think I ever went to a doctor's office when I was a child. They came to us and had a conversation. Nowadays, like they said, you can barely get in there. If you get in there, it's all about paperwork, blah, 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 blah. So what's the solution? Well, Men's Health Month, if we focus on the kidneys and the liver, we can learn a lot about the system. But here's a video that educates us on the 11 body systems that we all should be conscious of. And then how do we keep these systems in harmony is the question. So let's look at this 3-minute 11 body systems, which is really the solution to a broken sick care system, is learning about your own house. What is going on in this house and how do you fix it or balance it? So here is 11 body systems in 3 minutes.
This person riding the skateboard, you would see an amazing team of different body systems working together. Welcome to Moo Math and Science and 11 body systems. There are at least 11 body systems that work together to help keep the human body alive. Up first, the integumentary system. It consists of our skin. Our skin is the largest organ of the body. It acts as a barrier which protects us from the outside world, helps prevent water loss, and regulates our temperature, along with allows us to touch our surroundings. The skeletal system is made up of our bones, ligaments which attach bone to bone, tendons which attach muscle to bone, and our joints. The skeletal system helps with movement and protection. The muscular system is responsible for movement inside and out of the body. There are 3 major types of muscles. Skeletal muscles, which are muscles attached to bones. Smooth muscles, which are involuntary muscles found inside the stomach, the intestines, and several other places. And cardiac muscle, which are muscles of the heart. The urinary system filters blood through the kidneys, where it works to filter out waste and produces urine. The function of the respiratory system is to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide between the atmosphere and the blood. The lungs are a major organ of this system. The digestive system breaks down food so nutrients can be absorbed by the body. It has three main functions: ingest food, break food down so that nutrients can be absorbed, and eliminate what can't be digested. The endocrine system sends chemical messages throughout the body. This system is composed of glands that produce hormones that act as chemical messengers of the body. For example, adrenaline is a hormone that causes you to have a sudden burst of energy. The reproductive system is responsible for producing offspring. The lymphatic system includes organs and cells that filter lymph and blood and destroy foreign microorganisms. Lymph is the fluid that leaks out of the capillaries. This fluid circulates among the tissue cells and is collected by lymphatic vessels and returned to the veins. The nervous system sends electrical signals throughout your body. These signals may cause your arm to move or your heart to beat. This system is composed of two major divisions: the central nervous system, which is the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, which consists of the nerves that branch out from the brain and the spinal cord. The circulatory system pumps blood throughout your body. It consists of your heart, veins that carry blood to the heart, arteries that carry blood away from the heart, and capillaries, which connect the veins and the arteries. Thanks for watching, and remember.
So what do you get out of that? 11 systems working in this vessel, and more, actually, because when you look at the metaphysical aspects of this sacred temple, there's so much more going on. We are multi-dimensional beings. Let me say that again. We are multi-dimensional beings. So on this third dimension, we have this hand, the skin, this digestive system, the eyes are blinking, the hair is coming out. This is all third dimensional stuff we can see. And my friend who said, well, we need to focus on the kidneys and liver, his reality right now is these things are failing in his body. And so what he is pointing out to me is that if only he had focused on the health of his kidneys and liver, doing the things that he would have kept his kidneys and liver strong, then he believes he might not be suffering right now. So men out there, what are you suffering with? What are your challenges? Because focusing on the kidneys and liver is great for one person who is suffering and in pain and who has learned, in fact, that his kidneys and liver are failing. And the signs are there: swollen legs, bad taste in the mouth. You can Google anything you are suffering with, just Google it and they'll tell you the symptoms. The symptoms are just a messenger to say, okay, you need to change. You need to make some changes. It's like cancer. Cancer is a wake-up call. Cancer is not a death sentence like most people believe. And that's why I republished my book, because there is so much ignorance about this disease of cancer. We have bought into the medical sick care system idea that cancer is your enemy. And so many people that I see on a daily basis, especially on Facebook, are showing up saying, I have been diagnosed with breast cancer, in this case, most cases, and I'm starting chemo radiation on Monday, Tuesday, whenever. What else can I do to help get me through this process? Well, my opinion, number one, is don't do it, because it's toxic and it's poison. But if you're not ready to make changes in your lifestyle, like lifestyle medicine, like healing the emotional traumas that you've had over your lifetime that led up to a cancer wake-up call, wake up, hello. Because if you have to go to a doctor to hear you have cancer, you've been asleep in the house. You've been resting in the house, not paying attention to all the signs. So this book is available as an ebook, but I'm promoting it now as a PDF because I want you to share it with your friends and family who might be soon diagnosed with this disease. It's coming, believe me. And so it's an ebook available. If you send $8 to my Cash App, which is on the screen, Cash Beata Robinson, and you send me your email address through my beata@hotmail.com, I'll send you the PDF and you can share it. This is not normal or common for authors to say, just share the PDF. Yes, please share the PDF because I am so up to here with the ignorance on this disease. And this book will break that ignorance up, give you the knowledge you need to know about why your body is waking you up with cancer. It's a wake-up call. It is not the enemy. Hear me again. Cancer is not the enemy. It's a wake-up call to move out of fear that the sick care system has been trying to promote for years, since Nixon declared a war on cancer, a war on disease. It's been a battle with chemotherapy, surgery, all kinds of medical interferences. When your body is trying to tell you, excuse me, it's time for you to make some lifestyle changes and love yourself more, fly. So here's the information. This is the cover. Designed by my friend Van Dorn. Helped me design this with his sacred geometry. This sacred geometry alone is very healing. Any sacred geometry is all over our planet. And Van Dorn designed this art, and I put it on a t-shirt first. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to put this on my book with the cones for the bees. And at the bottom are bees. But you can, again, send $8 to my Cash App. I'll send you the PDF. Then you can share it with people who come down, who go to their doctors and say, oh no, I have cancer. Hallelujah. Congratulations. You're waking up. You're waking up. If you have to go to a doctor and get diagnosed with any disease, it is a serious wake-up call. So take action today and either go, or if you don't want to have a PDF and you have Kindle, it's available on Amazon as a Kindle. But please take action today because I'm telling you, it's really interesting. I don't like to use the word sad because I had to do some tapping this morning about feeling the sadness about people who are suffering in my life. That I don't like to see that. But the universe keeps pulling me into acceptance, because I can't control people's behavior as much as I want to. Stop doing that. Stop poisoning your body with all that sugar. Stop poisoning your body with anger and bitterness, and can't do it. All I can do is lead these horses to the water, hope they drink. And it's your job too. If you're listening, it's your job too to share the knowledge with people. So getting back to the topic, if kidneys and liver are one man's suggestion for men's health today, it's because they have come to the full understanding of the filtering system that we all have, but especially men. It's the filtering system that the kidneys and the liver perform that will help keep you alive longer. If you neglect that with anger and shame and unforgiveness, that's just 3 of the very toxic acid emotions that will affect your liver and your kidneys, then you're going to start seeing symptoms of pain, weakness of the bladder, because your kidneys and your liver, if they're not healthy, guess what? Your colon's not going to be healthy, and your prostate. Somebody, when I shared the flyer with some friends, one man came back with, "What about the prostate?" Well, let me just say this: if your liver and your kidney aren't working, your prostate ain't gonna work either. And here's another idea. As we were talking about the 11 systems, and we've got a few comments on that. the 11 systems, one system that's being neglected by a lot of seniors is our reproductive system. Mama AZ, where I don't know if she's here today, sent me a video about masturbation. Let me just put that out there because it's important. And I'll call it self-pleasure from here on. If you're not practicing self-pleasure as an elder, you're interfering with your body's health, is what this video was teaching. It was an excellent tip. If you're interested in getting that, I'll send it to you. I think I sent it to quite a few people. But the reason it is so important to have self-pleasure in your senior years, we're going to digress a little. No, not digress. Men too, men especially. Because your prostate will be healthier if you are having self-pleasure, because what is it? Your endocrine system is affected by your self-pleasure. When we were young and vibrant and having all these spiritual energy exchanges, as Kwame has taught us, we had lots of hormones running around. Health circulation was great. We were active with men coming together, men and women coming together and doing their thing. And we were healthier just because we had a healthy sex life. But now when you're in your seniors, this teaching that I listened to really points out you still need those endorphins and those hormonal activities in your body to be rummaging around, moving around to help your endocrine system, especially, which is your hormonal system. Those are the messengers that tell your body everything's okay. It's okay. So I'm going to give a very adult, mature suggestion to all my senior friends and then anybody who's not active, spiritual energy exchange active. Do some massage. It's not like you have to have a big O every night. It's not we're talking about that. You don't have, we did that in our youth. That was exploration time, okay? But in our senior years, we need to be massaging our reproductive area and bringing peace and calm there. As I said, it doesn't have to be a big O, but you want to be touching that area of your body to let it know it's still alive. It didn't die when your partner went away or whatever. You stopped having spiritual energy exchange. That area of your body should not die, but the way you treat it should change. The way you treat your reproductive area in your senior life, it changes. You don't have to have a man entering you, women. Men, you don't have to be having that exchange every night, every week, whatever. But you do need to practice self-pleasure in a way that sends a message to your brain. And this is what's in this YouTube video. Sends a message to your brain that you're healthy down there, that everything's okay. Don't neglect it. Please don't neglect it. That may be the root of some of your health problems if you've neglected your reproductive area altogether. I had a friend say, well, he can't get it up anymore, so he just doesn't bother it. I'm like, that's not a good idea, because guess what? Those cells are still alive and they're just not sitting there doing nothing. It's still part of the 11 systems. So as Kwame points out here, and Mama Joy has a comment too, the 11 is a systems is 1 in 1. 11 systems is 1 in 1 is what Kwame's saying. And he says the tongue is connected on one end is most powerful. Power of life and death in this tongue. Yep. And not only what you say, but what you eat. I notice people in my life who are married to their appetite. So they just put everything that tastes good in there and not things that are nourishing the body. And that's why kidneys and liver will suffer. If you're just married to your appetite and you're not doing some smoothies and juices and teas and things that are going to nourish and flush out and detox and cleanse, then you're going to develop some type of inflammation, because the body will become inflamed if you neglect it and if you abuse it. How about that? The tongue, thank you, Kwame, it has the power of life and death, and that applies to what you eat, what you put in there, blah, 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 and what you say to energize or to destroy this body with the tongue, life or death. Thank you. Mama Joy is joining us. She says, oh my goodness, you and unblocking, working on my body and learning about the electrical portal centers in my body. We all need FBIS information. Thank you for sharing. It's a pleasure to be here sharing, because that's all I can do every day is work on sharing my journey for the last 70 years. And I'm excited to be in this state of health. And thank you, Daddy, the man in my life, in this state of health, to share with you how I got here with no medication, being active and having emotional intelligence, which men, let's not be like the boys and act with rage every time somebody says something you don't like. Part of the male health this month is to work on responding with laughter or silence. Sometimes when people say things to you that you don't like, the best thing to do is either laugh or be quiet. Because if you react with anger, guess what? That's your liver. And Kwame says, Dr. or Rot COD. Dr. or Rot COD. Oh, okay, I got it. It's backwards. Oh, that's serious. No, that's serious. Kwame says, activating illness AI. There was a young man on the Female Solution yesterday. He has so many acronyms about IT stuff, technical stuff. It was so impressive, but I got totally lost because it was too much information for me. But this brother's got solutions. He got solutions because he's in the IT world, the AI. He's very much in the activating illness AI, the other part. But he was smart. He had an acronym for everything. And I was like, what? I couldn't follow him. At some point, I'm like, oh, okay, he's very smart. And when people don't talk about emotions, I'm like, I hope he's getting the emotional part of the acronyms as well, because that's an acronym about emotions, Kwame, activating illness. When you are depending on AI so much that you can't think about how to solve a problem, you're activating illness because you're not using your creator-given skills like the brain. And Kwame, the tongue is connected on one end, is most powerful. Yes. And he said 11 systems in the body. If you missed that part, it was the integumentary, the skin system, the skeletal system, the muscular system, the urinary system, the respiratory system, the lung system, the digestive system, and the endocrine and the reproductive. And then the system to me that gets left out is the emotional intelligence system. That's like the brain. Okay. The brain. Let's not forget the brain. And Kwame says liver takes 72 hours to remove 1 ounce of alcohol. Now, Kwame is speaking from experience of having, and I think I can share a drug addiction. I had a mother who was an alcoholic. So that experience, Kwame's experience, my experience, the man who said kidneys and liver are the most important focus we should have this month, that's his experience. So each one of us, men, talking to you men out there, but women need to be aware of your partner's experience and what is most important in his life. Some of these men just need to learn how to stop reacting and learn how to respond, developing emotional intelligence. Because one of the people who shared with me about the kidneys and liver has been reacting most of his life with anger after an abusive childhood, after marriages that didn't work out, after a woman leaving him for another woman, after Vietnam War. All these things created so much anger that he's having a hard time letting go of the anger. So I have the most respect now for all of you men who are speaking from your experience And it's really time to let go of the old reactions to things and embrace a new response. Kwame says, if it doesn't rise, it dies. Are you talking about your own appendage or what? It's like, what does that mean? If it doesn't rise, it dies. If men don't get excited, it dies. That's the truth. I think if that's what you're referring to, then that's part of the reproductive health of a man. It should be rising. Is that what you're saying, Kwame? Am I interpreting that correctly? Your reproductive health is there when it can rise. And let's just have, like, can we talk? Men, if it's not rising, Mama Joy says, love yourself more. And how do you love yourself more? Self-pleasure. We're not talking about over aggressive masturbation or anything like that. No. Those days are over for seniors. But hand touch, massage, I love you. Words. Remember, the words are important. If you're saying to your reproductive self, you want it to rise, men or whatever, or women, if you want to have moisture down there, you got to talk to that area. You got to place your hands on the spot and massage, get some oils. I have a woman at the farmer's market. I buy oils from her for my reproductive area because I've been dry. For a while I was dry. I'm not dry anymore because she makes an essential oil formula just for the yoni, that area of the women, that has rose oil in it. And it has, she even put crystals in the bottle. And I started using that as a massage oil. And I tell you, I'm not active sexually anymore, but I have a peace down there. There's no dryness. There's no pain. Sometimes women, as we get older, you have a little pain, right? That's maybe neglect or abuse. I don't know, whatever. It's you individually can discern why you have pain, suffering, discomfort. You as an individual should know. And if you don't, you might want to spend some time in meditation, trying to figure it out, asking your creator, asking yourself, why are you in pain? Why are you in pain? Just take that moment to say, why are you in pain? How can I help you? How can I help you? Men, if it's not rising, what can I do to help you rise so that it doesn't die, as Kwame just reminded us? If it doesn't rise, it'll die. And Mama Joy says, if it doesn't rise, it dies. Go, Kwame. And that's for any of us. If your reproductive area is discomfort, has discomfort, pain, itching, there's something that needs to be done. And it might just be with your tongue. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, Yoni. Sometimes I just lay in bed saying, thank you, Yoni, for all your work you've done for me, all the allowance you've done, all the forgiven. You just speak to that Yoni and have a conversation with your body. And I do that at night a lot because I'm in gratitude. And then the most important aspect of our journey, men and women, is gratitude. That's what I've learned in these 70 years, is everything in my life has to end in gratitude. In 1 minute of anger has to end in gratitude. 1 minute of frustration and the traffic needs to end in gratitude. Why? Because after that minute, your body is going to respond with inflammation. You're angry for 5 minutes, your cells are going to be angry, and that equals pain. So let us together invite gratitude, invite love. And I want to again encourage all of you, more self-pleasure. If that's an area that's giving you pain or problem, endometriosis, probably because a lot of women don't love themselves down there. And then stuff grows like weeds, So it's all different. But again, for the men in my life, I give special love out to you and praise and thanks for all that you're doing to bring balance back to this earth, where the male-female relationships are out of balance and where the male-female energy in here is out of balance. So men, It's a call for action. It's a call for action, men, to get healthy, love yourself, self-pleasure, whatever it takes. Get it rising so the whole body will respond to your rise. If it rises, you're going to have more life. So let us all be practicing self-pleasure, whether it's self-pleasure for food that nourishes, thoughts that nourish. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are going to make it. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. Whatever you're going through, take a minute to breathe every day and let it go. Let go of all the toxic emotions. Let go of the shame from your past. Let go of all the shame that the church put on you, that your mother, your parents put on you, that's the school. Let go. Breathe in love, love, love. Breathe in acceptance. I accept myself totally the way I am. I accept and grateful for this journey that I've been on. It's all good. It's all good because we're all in a school of life. Thank you. Thank you. And thank your parents. I'm blessed to have had a very healthy father and not so healthy mother, and I learned from both of them. Both of them have taught me how to live a healthier life in my 70s. My 70s are going to be my best years ever. I've already put that out in the universe, and they get, yep, that's right. So let this be the beginning. This June month for all you men, this is going to be the best month of your life. Let's just put that out there for all you men. In this your month, to take better care of yourself, to fly, first love yourself, and to help create, it doesn't write that. Okay, to help create a better you, a healthier you, a more responding you, that you're responding to all the triggers that you used to have with more laughter, 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 and silence. Silence. That would be my best advice for men today. Start responding to any irritations in your life with laughter. That is like a massage for your whole body. Your cells go, woo, yeah. They have something called laughter yoga. You sit in a room all for 30 minutes and just laugh. That is the best internal massage you can give your body. So let's just do this month as a goal, laughter and silence breathing. Silent, deep breathing. And Kwame, for the final word, yes, a heart on let you know it's still on. Amen, amen. Let's keep it going. Keep it on, keep it on. And even if you don't have a partner, you need to know it's still on down there, still on, because that's still part of the system that is here for the glory of our Creator and for our evolution. Whatever system malfunctions you have now, let's work on them all month. If you need to, go to my website, yourholisticlifecoach.com, and send me a message, and we can work on it. We can work on it together if you need help. Let me put up my my banner again. My book is there. Okay, my website is there along with the Cash App. Again, please purchase the book and share it. $8 is a minor investment. If you have people in your life who are suffering, and there will be more cancer diagnosis, I guarantee you, because that's what COVID experience did for a lot of people who took that jab are now diagnosed with disease. Hello. That's the problem, reaction, solution that we get from the sick care system. They create the problem. Oh my goodness, there's a virus, there's a virus. Everybody goes, or not everybody. Some people run and get the jab, and then the jab creates another problem. They say, we have the solution. Here's a new drug just for your new symptoms. And Mama Joy, okay, no. Let's see, semen. Okay, yes, hard. Okay, Kwame says, semen lets us know life force lives within. Yay, yay, see man, see the man, and see woman. If there is such a thing, there's a see woman too. But yeah, semen, let that semen know. And again, I said, you don't have to see the man, semen. You don't have to have the semen, but at least experience the pleasure of a self-pleasure massage. Doesn't have to be a big O, I'm saying. Go, you know where you get your big O? Go to the beach and see a sunrise. Oh my goodness, that's my big O. And I'm missing it. I haven't been to the beach in a long time. So I'm ready. I am so ready to get to the beach and have my big O. My big O comes when I sit there meditating, waiting for the sun to come up. And then when it comes up, I do the sun gazing. And as it gets brighter and brighter, my whole system lights up and goes into the big O. That's what I recommend for all you who don't have a partner. Yep, that's the way to go for me, at least. I love the water. So, and Mama Joy says, are we going to church with this? Are we going to church with this? Of course. Of course we are. Because church is in nature. I think it was Brother Eddie said, my church is in the woods. So for many of us, church is right outside our door with the bees and the birds. I have a bird feeder out there now. And I got to see 2 cardinals show up, the male and the female. The male is very bright red, female's brown, and they're up there with making a nest, I'm sure. And then they come down here to my bird feeder and eat the seed, and I get to watch out my window. And then the squirrels are showing up because I'm feeding them almonds. They love almonds, I found out. And I'm feeding them sunflower seeds. So that's my church, Mama Joy. And I hope many of you are experiencing that type of church, especially with the trees. Oh my goodness. The trees are giving so much love and protection right now. When I take a walk, I used to just pass by the trees. Now I can't help but go and put my hand on the tree and thank the tree for the energy coming from the earth and for the protection of the leaves and for all the negative ions that are coming up out of the ground. I touch the tree, and most times I give it a hug. And that's church. That's your church. Worship, worship, worship. Go to nature and worship the trees. Give them a hug, sing to them, talk to them. Mama, Zelda knows what I'm talking about. She loves those trees. She's taking care of her trees in her neighborhood, I'm sure. But everybody should be going to church right now. Yes, in your mind, worshiping with your breath. Every time you breathe in, you're massaging the kingdom within. You're celebrating the kingdom, because this act of inhaling, taking in oxygen is reaching trillions of cells in your body. If you're walking around just barely breathing and not taking in breath, you're not massaging anything inside of you. But when you, that's an internal massage along with you're giving the kingdom within. Yeshua the Messiah said it many times in the New Testament. The kingdom is inside of you, not out there. The kingdom is within. So what does that mean? For me and for you, it can mean I need to pay attention to this masterful biological computer inside of my body. Give it oxygen, massage it with your breath, and massage it with laughter. And there you are. You're going to church every day. And then Kwame says, stop mental masturbation. And that could mean a lot for different people. But yeah, what does that mean? To me, you get this visual of you're just intellectualizing everything. That's what I'm seeing, Kwame. Correct me if I'm wrong. But people intellectualize. It's all I'm ego. Okay, I see mental masturbation as building up the ego. Look how important I am. I'm smart. I look at all the books I've read. I teach a lot of things. I'm smart. Mental masturbation. You're massaging your ego. Okay, that's what I see that's happening there. Instead, take those hands, put them down there, and massage and bring pleasure to your endocrine system. Look at it that way. When you do massage, self-pleasure in your reproductive area, that is bringing love to your endocrine system. which sends endorphins and happy feelings, the same you get when you sit and watch the sun come up. Happy feelings, those endorphins start rising. All the good hormones are giving you a smile, taking away the pain too. You just might find your pain will be relieved when you self-pleasure, less pain, because the inflammation will be taken over by endorphins and happy, good feelings. How about that? Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Massage the kingdom, worship the kingdom inside. Let go of the shame, let go of the bitterness, let go of the fear. Let go of the fear. This political scene we're watching is just a show. Pass the popcorn and enjoy the show and get busy massaging yourself and breathing and walking and hugging the trees. Men, that's your mission. This month is June. It's more tree hugging, more tree talking, more tree touching, and more self-pleasure and more fasting. Let's throw that in too, men. More fasting. Please, please divorce your appetite and do some fasting, which is where the healing will come. Fasting, no food or less food, more massage, self-massage, and more laughter and more breath work and hugging trees. There's the menu. We're going to send that out to the world. Okay, I think we got all the comments today. Let's just end on a little meditation. We're going to bring Akaya back up because Africa is in the news. It's so exciting. They're dumping the colonializer. They're sending the U.S. forces home. Celebration, colonializers out, powering the people of Africa. This is celebration time. Men celebrate. I'm not going to Africa, but I'm celebrating with them, and I'm making my own decolonization here in my space. So let us just welcome the beauty of Africa in our lives in this moment. Breathe in life of our ancestors. Breathe in life. That sound is so soothing, and I hope it is bringing you to a place of peace and purpose. And my sister Zelda says, Higher Learning Network says, trees are our next best friend. Hallelujah. We knew, who knew is right. You know how we knew? We're evolving, sister. We are evolving. I would never have thought of hugging a tree or talking to a tree. It 20 years ago didn't even come to my mind, but I'm evolving. Nature, amazing powers developing every single time you interact with nature. That's the truth. That's the truth. So yes, yes, yes. Let's hang out with nature, men. This is your month. June, we honor you. We love you. We want to hug you, men. But the thing is, you have to fly. First, love yourself. Hang out with nature. And as Kwame said, stop the mental masturbation and go to the self-pleasure, physical pleasure, to raise the endorphins, to love your endocrine system, and to experience the O in nature and in other ways, because that's what we can do here on planet Earth. So thank you all for being here. Shalom, shalom to all of you. Go out and have a beautiful day. It's sunny here. No lines in the sky, just lots of clouds. And come back Sunday. I'll be back, Soul Purpose Healing. And all my yogi friends, Satnam, Namaste. Mwah. Keep up the good yogi work, stretching, and more stretching in the village. Yeah.